Hey guys, second fan of the night.
Second round of the night.
So, if you want to see behind the scenes footage of Pete and myself doing all kinds of interesting fan related things, as well as other music and non-fan related footage, patreon.com/dspiffy. So this is a fan I've been waiting to test for probably 20 years. I honestly can't remember where I got this from. It's been hanging in my mom's basement, like in where I had the motors hanging for storage, like right when you kind of walked into the little fan shop area.
Yeah.
For as long as I can remember, it's been hanging there, right where the like little two-foot shop light is. And I honestly can't remember where I got it. This is my third one of these. This is a KDK Royalaire. We'll talk about that in a second. But this is the only one that's 56-inch. And I think the motor housing on these looks really big, so the proportions are interesting. So this is my favorite size for these. I think the other ones, they have the same size motor, so proportions look odd. So I really, I had the other ones up for sale, and I think I sold one of them, but this is the one I wanted to keep. But it didn't have a switch cap. So Pete and I rigged a switch cap on it. It looks decent enough for this. The original switch cap would actually snap in and have the KDK logo on the bottom of it. And I think Pete's going to make one that fits it a little better than the one that we're using for the video purposes, but it looks fine. So I was going to say, these are an interesting part of the KDK lineup because they did not appear to be an official part of the KDK lineup. So KDK was the name that the parent company of Panasonic, Matsushita, I might be saying the name wrong. You remember their name, Pete?
No.
Matsushita, something like that. But whatever the family name was of the company that started Panasonic, they originally branded their fans KDK. But this model, the Royalaire, did not appear that I can find in any of the KDK or Panasonic catalogs or advertisements. I just did a workbench video on KDK, Panasonic, and the Tennessee Fan Company, which were all essentially the same company. Parent company was all Matsushita or whatever the name is. I'm not looking at it. I might be remembering wrong. No mention of these because they weren't mentioned in any of the documentation. And these pretty much only turned up in Texas in 1980. A few popped up in like Georgia and Florida, and a few popped up in 81. But it was sparse enough that I wonder if that was just kind of like carryover. They were only imported into Texas. I wonder if this was like one guy or one small company basically doing a separate import from KDK, from Panasonic, separate from their regular fan lineup, because I can't find anything. And whenever these appear in ads, they appear as the Royalaire with no mention of KDK or Panasonic or anything else. It's interesting because these have turned up, and a fair number of collectors have found them or at least seen them, mostly in Texas. But there are more ads to the Panasonic that we know of as the Lyre Panasonic, or the old Pierce Phillips Panasonic, the one that that we've hardly found any versions of it. But that one's in a bunch of ads and catalogs. So I don't know exactly the history of these. I just know that they are not part of the regular KDK and Panasonic lineup. Your Metalness, have you seen these before?
No. I don't think I have seen anything like this.
What do you think of it so far?
It is quite interesting. It is a very cool fan. It's not all brown, but
no, it's very kind of malaise looking, I would say.
Malaise.
And it's interesting because unlike the other Panasonics,
so violently malaise.
It does seem violently malaise. It's all brown, and unlike the other KDKs and Panasonics that all have real wood blades, this has like a fiberglass type blades. They don't seem plasticky. They seem like the closest thing is like the Emerson fiberglass blades.
Yep.
Okay. Anything you want to say about it? Or you want to go ahead and see how it performs?
Well, first I got to set it to low.
Oh, you forgot to set it to low?
Yep.
Oh, try to reach it on your own first.
Oh, no.
He can't reach it. It's out of frame. You can't see it, but he can't reach it. So what do you say, Pete? This is the worst day of my life. Bye, Fanstick.
We're just going to set it to low here.
I actually think the whole thing is out of frame. Let's try it. Yep, that's definitely low.
Okay.
We checked the cap on this because I remembered these being like very fast, and in our brief test, it didn't seem very fast, so we tested the cap, and it was good. It's 7 microfarad, which is pretty high cap value, so it should be a good performer. Whole power factor, so it's speed taps.
Yep.
Which is not surprising. There's only one capacitor in it.
Yep.
Japanese fans are very different by design than any other country of origin.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty slow low, too.
Yeah.
You want to bother tacking it or not really?
Sure.
Your call.
Well, we can definitely see how slow it is.
Yeah.
Something weird.
I'd pulled this out as a potential barbershop fan, but I forgot it was 56-inch. I think it might be a little big for the barbershop.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We can see. What'd you get? I saw a reading.
It's only 48.
That's probably the right reading because you're only reading on those blade arms there.
Yeah.
So it's just doing, well, I guess there's still 4 of them, so it wouldn't. Getting some crazy readings.
Yeah. Now I'm getting no reading. I'm getting like 228.
228, where's the calculator? Here it is. That doesn't seem that far off base. Let's try that. 57, I'll take it.
Okay. Now that you go to medium.
Okay. You gonna try to reach it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, he can't reach it.
I can't.
You can't see it because he's out of frame, but he can't reach it. This is the worst day of my life. Bye, fan stick. Fan stick is the solution to all of my problems.
Okay, let's see what it draws. There was no current rating on it.
No.
55 watts.
It's gonna be power factor of 1 the whole way up,
Yep.
I bet. It's a little wobbly.
Yeah. It's got that malaise wobble.
Yeah, we could probably balance it if we end up hanging it, but it's definitely a very 70s looking thing.
Yes, it is. $477.
Seems about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, 120. Yeah, I think the closer you get to the blades, the more cooperative it is. Pete and I have been snacking on sour candy sent to us by Tubular Tokes. There's been some pretty interesting stuff.
Okay, to go to high.
Oh, try to reach it and see what happens.
Go.
Do me a favor. Go up the ladder so they can see your hand in the frame.
Okay.
A little more, a little more. A little more, a little more, a little more.
I'm already...
One more step. I know. Just pretend you can't reach it. Oh,
Shit.
oh man. It's so difficult.
Yeah.
This is the worst day of my life.
So.
Bye, fan stick. I think the Japanese fan companies were the only ones to use cords and not pull chains.
Yeah.
I like it. It's drawing point. Oh, it dropped a little bit. 0.67.
Okay, yeah, there was no current rating on there.
I didn't see if there was a higher inrush than that, but I saw it go from 0.68 to 0.67, so we know there's at least a small inrush. Oh, the lamp's still on.
Oh.
Now it's up to 0.75. Probably didn't affect the lower speeds that much, but definitely affected that high speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely affected the airflow too. I'm noticing I wasn't feeling airflow from it before, but I am now.
Yep, that may be why we thought.
Yeah. Well, I thought we took it off the lamp before. Maybe we didn't.
No.
Maybe.
Okay.
That's definitely.
I'm getting 928.
That seems about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, 232, which is pretty fast for a 4-blade residential 56-inch.
Yeah. Yeah, that is. What do we get for watts?
0.75 is where we ended up, and it's gonna have a full power factor.
Yes. Okay. Well, yeah, I've got to do
the thermometer. And we have new charts of metalness that have all the readings. Now, so far, all the fans we tested today are still standard readings.
Right.
But should we happen to do a fan that's a non-standard reading after this one, the new metal chart has all of the readings. So, oh, there we go. So no math is in fact, well, a very small amount of math is required, but no calculus is required. Geometry.
Getting 551.
That's about that's as much as an industrial then. Wow, that's 9,400.
Mm-hmm.
It's as much as a blender fan, but it's bigger than a blender fan, so that's not that's not that different from what the SMC did, which is surprising.
Right.
Again, I think that's in part because we can't account for, like, this is just pretty much blowing all the air straight down, and the SMC is blowing a lot of it out, so we can't account for that. But either way, yeah, it is pretty powerful. Where do you think it's going to start?
I think it's gonna start at least at 2.
Okay.
I think it should start pretty low.
It's probably, in fact, it's very similar in performance to a Dayton Lasco company.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Which is interesting because it's a CFM rating is similar. The pull chain switch is similar. Even the motor construction is similar.
I noticed. Yes.
Japanese fans are all very. And there was some crossover between Sanyo and Panasonic. Although I don't think this was specific crossover. I think it might just be the way they built. I don't know. So where do Dayton Lascos normally start on the test rig?
I thought they at least started at 3.
Yeah. Okay, then I'll say 3. I think it'll be 3.
A long spin down.
It does, but that's not surprising. It's got those blades seem pretty heavy.
They are.
Yeah, it does very much seem like a slightly residential Dayton Lasco.
Yep. Yep.
I'm sure I've told this story before. I did have one of these hanging in my bedroom in my first apartment. It was, I don't know what number of fan I put in there. The first fan I put in there was a Fasco Charleston. And I think that, I can't remember the order, that I think got replaced by either my first Veranda, my first 52-inch Laguna, or my first Universal. And then I put the 48-inch version of this in there at one point as well.
Okay.
My final fan there was the Sonataire. That was the one I liked the most.
All right.
Okay. Same Sonataire that's in my music room. Let's go.
Yep. Here's decade. 1, 2.
No points for his metalness.
3. I knew it was gonna start low, but
let's see. I don't think it's gonna stall. It's
oh, it stalled.
Okay, well,
4.
4 is definitely gonna go.
Yeah.
Probably would keep going on 3 after. I mean, this has been sitting in my mom's basement and hasn't run for 20 years, so it probably needs to run overnight at some point if it's gonna get peak performance.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all a pretty slow speed anyways. We don't need it this slow anyways.
Right. That's not good. Well, here's 5. Let's see what that does.
Still pretty slow.
It is, but would be usable. It could use
right. If you couldn't use an 8-12-20 and this ended up being your low, it's not impractical.
Right. Sometimes I give it a little chance on 5s. That's a common value.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good on 5.
Yep. 6. 7. Now, what did it draw on high?
Like 7-4, 7-5,
Okay.
somewhere around there. We got a ways to go.
All right.
Okay, everybody. So what I want you to do is turn your volumes all the way down. If you have young children in earshot, then cover their ears. You might want to protect like your glass and other things from like shaking. Here we go.
And here comes 8.
Crunch, 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 crunch. We only let his metalness chew on camera at 8, 12, and 20 because he is the loudest chewer I've ever met. Like if there was a world competition for loud chewing, I think his metalness might place.
This is 8. Then 9.
Yeah, this looks really tacky and really cool at the same time, I think. Like that fake plastic brass is just so...
Yep.
No one would mistake that for real brass. I don't think it's because of the finish of it. I think it's because of the designs in it. Like, it looks like a toy.
Yep. 10. 11.
Okay, so once again, you'll want to take precautions. Seek cover if you're at all worried about your survival.
And 12.
Crunch, 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 crunch. I have a feeling that the 6, 8, 14 might be a good combination of values.
I think so.
I think 8, 12, 20 is going to be too fast.
Yeah. I already know 8 is fast.
Yeah.
Here's 13. So yeah, that 5, 8, 13 would work. And then here comes 14.
Yeah. Very curious to see how it does in the solid state.
Yep. So malaise.
Very malaise. Now, you had a Panasonic in your house as a kid.
Yes, it was King Arthur.
King Arthur. Is that the G event one?
It is a G event, but a little slight ornate to it.
Oh, with like the ornate trim around the edges, kind of the way a
Yeah.
Homestead Universal would have?
Yeah, like on the faceplate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's a step up. The Knight is the G event.
Okay.
This was just a hair fancier.
Gotcha.
I told you I remembered we first put a Lancelot there. Had to take it back.
What's the Lancelot? What version is that?
It looks like Builder Fan Vents.
Kind of like an 1895, that one?
Yeah.
Gotcha, yep.
And it had some kind of manufacturing defect where the
Gotcha.
bearings were stiff and made loud noise.
I wonder if it would have, like, if you would have let it run on high forever, if it would have
No,
corrected
actually,
itself.
I think something else was stiff, like the sideband was rubbing.
Oh, gotcha.
There was something. I thought it was bearings. I think I now remember the sideband.
Makes sense.
And you took it back. We took it back, and they gave us a different motor, and that motor was a King Arthur.
Nice. Do you remember what store you got it from?
Yes, there was one in Menominee Falls called Fantiquity,
Okay.
right on the corner of Pilgrim and Main Street.
Gotcha.
In that same shopping center was that Piggly Wiggly with the HRSs. Not Chandler's, but the one in the very back
Okay.
that's got that stripe, the thinner stripe.
Kind of. I'm trying to remember which version that is.
You know, like it was also
Not the Caraway version.
No, it's the one way back there. It looks like Chandler's HRS.
Okay, but only the stripe is different. Okay.
Yeah, the stripe
That's
is
why I was
thinner.
confused. Okay, let's keep moving.
Okay, here's 15. Yeah, it had a bunch of those in that Piggly Wiggly. And so did the vacuum.
Wiggly.
Yep.
Vacuum shop fans too?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Had that same one, that same HRS. Here's
They must have just come with, the building.
yeah, and there was even a combination, both of that HRS and that one there too. That Caraway one right in front of us. Here's
Yeah, because
17.
John Weaver or whoever owned HRS used to just buy whatever he can get and stamp his own label on it.
I heard you said something about EnviroFan didn't like him
They were not happy about that because
reselling it.
because what would happen was
There's
somebody would
18.
buy fans from HRS and they'd get half gold lines and half something else, and then they'd call EnviroFan when they needed warranty information, but EnviroFan didn't deal with all the fans. They only dealt with some of them. So they'd be like, we can't help you because we don't know which of these fans came from us and which of these fans came from another manufacturer.
Yep. Here is 19.
Because you got to remember, to most people, all in three-bladed industrials look the same. Okay,
Right.
so this is the final time you'll have to worry about taking precautions during this video. But again, I would make sure you hide your women and children, and turn your volume all the way down to the lowest level.
And here comes 20.
Crunch, 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 crunch. So it doesn't go over with the 8-12-20. It just is a little fast on all of the speeds.
Right.
Okay, we don't have to worry about any more crunching in this video.
And here comes 21. Here's 22.
I'm gonna check something while you're continuing to go up.
All right.
I just wanna see
23.
something. You keep going. I'm only going over here. I'm not going far.
Okay. And 24, 25, 26, 30. I'm now at 0.7. 32.
I was just curious if these original blades were cracked too bad. Oh, this one's pretty bad.
Uh-huh.
This would be another good fan to test, but this blade definitely needs to be glued.
Here is 33, 35. It's leveling off. I just maxed it out.
Nice.
And it's at 7.2. Let's...
Yeah, this one will have to be glued in a vise.
Okay. All right. Well, I maxed out and
Okay.
didn't go over. Okay. Normally, these type of motors are not the greatest with solid state.
Let's see. I've been surprised before.
Yeah.
I'm optimistic. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm gonna give it living room quiet in case.
I'm going to go with bedroom. I really hope that it's a good performer. Of course, if we're doing Prices Right rules, I don't know why I don't just go do the $1, Bob, like that, We should be silent in this case, but...
Okay. Oh, you're not on.
Oh, I'm dumb. Well, you go ahead and do it. There's a reason why I don't usually do the test rig.
Wow.
Holy fuck. I should have said silent. That is in fact silent.
Yeah, I could not
It's
believe
a
that.
little.
Faint.
Put it this way, I'm still not sure if what I'm hearing is from the fluorescent lights. Is the mercury vapor outside off or is it on?
Yep, it's off.
Yeah, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. At least 20 fluorescent ballasts in this space. And they're pretty quiet. Like, we don't have any super noisy ballasts here the way we do in other places.
Yep.
Yeah, that thing is okay. Well, let's see what it does on
0 to high.
0 to high. What do you think about this?
I thought I seen a big inrush.
I'll go with small. I did not see big inrush, but I also have not. I mean, I try to avoid tipping myself so I can do a fair guess based on knowledge, not based on. Okay. Ready?
Not yet.
You want to be able to see it?
Yeah.
You think I'm telling you tales?
Could be.
No, it's whatever I guess. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Just take my word for it. Ooh, so it is big inrush.
Yeah.
Well, this thing is actually a great performer.
It is. Yep, now it is big inrush dropped.
Yep. And I saw it go down to 7.4 before. That's how. Okay. So how metal is this?
It's definitely high definitely in the middle category. But thing is, just the delicacy of some of that concerns me.
The plastic parts?
Yeah.
Well, why doesn't that concern you with like a Dayton Lasco?
Yeah.
Just because you saw too many of them as a kid?
Well, that. But, this is kind of a rare thing, though. But it definitely is. I mean, it's only a residential, but it is definitely a pretty high end.
Okay. Save those for the sponsor.
Yes.
No crunching right now. We told them they wouldn't have to worry about any more crunching, but they will, I guess, when we thank our sponsors. So, yeah. I'm going to guess these are pretty high on the Rick scale because they look very 70s.
Yes. So
I'm gonna guess it's either the high end of wood grain station wagon or it's avocado appliance. This particular version, 56-inch with these straight blades, is definitely it makes it into my top category, I think. Mm-hmm. The smaller versions, which some of them, the 48-inch has these same blades but smaller, and then they had a 52-inch version that had like conventional looking ceiling fan blades with like pointed tips.
Yeah.
Those are less. I like those less. They just don't look. The proportions look right. Just like to me, small Dayton Lascos, the proportions don't look as good to me.
Oh.
Because the motor's the same size and the blades,
I understand, but even though it fits well in the.
Oh yeah. No, I still like small Dayton Lascos. I like the proportions of the big ones better. Certain fans, I like small blades on a big motor housing, but it depends on the fan. Nia calls those bumblebee fans.
Which ones?
Any fan with a big motor housing and small blades. Okay. You know how bumblebees' wings aren't big enough for their body?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so let us thank our sponsors. Yes. So you got to see one of our sponsors in this video, and that sponsor is FanStick.
That's FanStick.
FanStick is the solution to all of our problems. To find out more, go to buyfanstick.com, fanstick.biz, lightstick.biz, or for Florida FanStick, which is 69% longer and harder than regular FanStick, go to buyfanstickxxx.com. I'm a little snacky, Pete. I'm a little hungry. And you know what I wish I could be eating?
Yes, a taco burrito or Mexico.
Taco, a burrito, or a Mexico. And the thing is, around here, you can get tacos, you can get burritos, and you can get Mexicos, but you can't get them all at the same place. There's only one place you can get all three, and that's at Taco, Burrito, Mexico.
That's right, Taco, Burrito, Mexico.
And then when I'm eating tacos, burritos, and Mexicos, I'm usually thirsty. You need something to wash it down with. And if I'd reach for the Fan Collector's first choice in beverages, Sperry. What do you think about Sperry, Pete?
Very good.
So the lighting in this video was provided to you by one of our sponsors. That sponsor is the Good Manufacturing Company. When you don't need excellence, go a step down. So we talked a little bit more about our speed control sponsor, A1220 LLC, where our motto is crunch, 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 crunch. One of the fun games that we play out here at the barn is Rick or Sheep, but you too can play Rick or Sheep, and you don't even need a barn. All you need to do is go to rickorsheep.com. You know what I forgot to do in the last video, Your Metalness? Forgot to ask you what Jonas would say if he was here.
I like doorbells.
I like doorbells.
And do you have any homestead catalogs?
Do you have any homestead catalogs? Would you like to go to House on the Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll add that one in the mix, I think. Just because I always like an excuse to mention House on the Rock. Okay, well, I think that's it for our sponsors. As always, patreon.com/dspiffy for more valuable content like this. What else can they do, Your Medalist, to support us? Buy Fanstick. Thanks for watching.